G'day everybody, thank you for bearing with us for this one. We might have to do a little bit of editing, I think, a bit later and put the two pieces of this puzzle back together. Hopefully this is the non-slideshow edition of the ASR development series, races 2 and 3, and with a bit of luck, NZ Snipes, you and I, we can get through this one unscathed.
Look, we could see everything just fine. A bit of a pity for the slideshow. We're going back to primary school right there. I used to make slideshows when I was a kid, man. You'd made plenty of them. None of them looked quite that good though. But yeah, no, looking forward to a race 2 and a race 3. Hopefully that you all can see and enjoy as well, because the racing early on has certainly been hot. So it'll be good to see what pops out of the second edition of the race. We've got more front runners at the front. Hopefully we're going to find out very early on whether Darren Kemp sorted his issue. That's going to be very intriguing for me to see, or whether this clutch issue persists. I very much hope that it does not, because it's good to see Darren Kemp up the front and racing.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to seeing what he can do from almost the tail end of the field in this next one, as we're just getting a grid being sorted at the moment. So hopefully everybody that was over watching on the live stream on the old link can come across and say hello and see us again over on this side here. We're just waiting for, I think, the grid to be set, and then we'll be away again for the second of the 17 lap encounters for the night. As I tell us on the screen there's a yellow flag, which I think was just for Peter Thrower and all for Brap as well. They're having a little bit of
That's engine trouble. That's engine trouble right there.
That is engine trouble for Brap for sure. He's smoking more than a Cuban cigar house there.
And going for a practice start, probably down a couple of horses there on that one, but it's only practice. It's not going to matter. The team and
and then there's another barbecue, coming out the back of the Peter Throwermobile. So they've decided just to have some to play some funny buggers here. I think. There you go. Barbecue in the actually that's not his garage.
That doesn't matter, you know, just any garage will do. You know, that looks... In fact, his car's actually parked up there. Incredible. Beside, what's that? Locky Locks. Very weird things going on. Automobilista perhaps doing some automobilista things. And Peter Thrower indeed enjoying himself some snags. A hot piece of steak too, as we see Cheese on a merry-go-round, and into the fence he goes. What a fantastic sight that is. You suck, Cheese. That was good to watch.
It's not happening for the Kiwis in the practice session at the moment, is it? They've all decided that they just want to have some funny buggers, and you know what, guys? I've got 2 PCs here, so 2 sets of cameras. I don't miss anything, and I didn't miss any of that.
Yeah, good to see. Quite comical. He's right in the room next to him. I literally pointed and laughed at him.
You're gonna get smack over the back of a head in a minute.
No, he'll be too focused on the racing. I think we're pretty safe. We're pretty safe indeed. I'm going to quickly get myself a beer, Nether. I'm going to get myself a beer because I want to sit back and really enjoy this with a cold beverage in my hand. I hope you've got one too.
I would like to have a beer at the moment, but I haven't been well the last couple of days. Okay. So I've been avoiding beer and things like the plague. It's been all hot drinks for me. Some people call me a secret pom because I like a cup of tea, but I've never been able to stomach coffee, but tea and hot chockey just do me just fine.
Oh, very good. Get on the waters then, son. Health first. Health before beers. Yep. People seem to do it the other way around now.
Yeah, I know they do. I'm sort of lucky as well that there's no real life commentary from me until August. You have this, I think it was up at Winton a couple of months ago, and it was like I was coughing off air and things like that. It was almost like who used to call it? Some people call bubble and squeak. For me, it was cripple and squeak. I was the squeak, and the other person I was doing the commentary with was the cripple.
Oh dear!
Because I was on crutches all day, but somehow we've managed to make it work. So I'm glad those days are behind for the this year, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Fair play to you, Nether. Well, I'm going to bottoms up for the both of us then, mate, as we prepare to sit down towards an entertaining race 2, a race 2 that you can all see and enjoy with us. That certainly sounds exciting to me. It's going to be intriguing to see how the top 5 wriggle and shake. Steve Warwick with a fantastic result from the last race. Will he be able to maintain a spot on the podium? We know he's going to have a hard charging Cheese coming up behind him. Luke Yeager perhaps on the lookout for another top 5 here. That'll be his goal. Keep it on the circuit. You're in with a good shot.
Absolutely. Let's get away grid for race number 2 of the evening. Progressive grid format. So where they finished in the last race is where they start in this one. So Nathan Higginson off of pole with Lockie Lock alongside him. So keep an eye for his starts and see what he can do this time around. Steve Warwick off of P3 with a bit of an unknown quantity for him next door. Luke Yeager going to have to make sure he gets his elbows out early in this one. Then you go back to Cheese. What a great progression through the field it was for him. Can he throw a haymaker in this second race and maybe make a little his presence felt toward the front of the field? And Filippi, can he actually get something going here? He had a good run through the field as well. Taipan started rear grid as well. He's in good position in P7 alongside Damo for KSS under development squad. Rapp in the 97 in P9. And then Peter Thrower, who sank a little bit late in that one, up to 10th. Phil Donny in 11th with Rody, the lead of the Super 3 runners alongside him. And then Laszlo Teglis in 13th. Darren Lockman 14th. Cracker 15th. Melody Smith in 16th. And then you've got Glenn Miles, Hayden Cupid. And then Phil Boak is going to take for this one. So he is off the back of the grid. And then it looks like Darren Kemp is possibly going to be out of this one. Looks like he's trying to get something sorted according to Daniel Cox in the live chat, but that's heartbreak for Kemp. Looks like this one is going to be his drop round. I was about to say, without Boak being on the back, we had all the Super 2 runners in one half and we had all the Super 3 runners in the other half, and we've not had that all season so far.
No, we haven't. We have not had that. There's usually some Super 3 runners mixing it up towards the top 10, splitting some of the Super 2 runners. Of course, this is one of the smaller fields. It's wild to say, isn't it, Nether? We've got 19 runners in this race, and this is one of the smaller fields we've had all season as we look to gear towards race start. Everyone's starting to line up. But yes, no, we have not seen just a clear split, and this is certainly as close to him as we have seen yet.
Go. Let's have a look and see as we look to the lights and we wait for them to go racing here in race number 2. Higginson versus Locke off the front row. And away we go. Great launch, Higginson. He absolutely stonewalled it off the start and shows a clean set of heels to Lockie Lock. One of the best conversions we've seen Higginson start. Look, someone's off in the fence. Someone's gone for an absolute wild ride. It's Phil Donny.
Yeah, unfortunate for Donny. Don't know what happened there, but yeah, what a marvellous start from Higginson. No, just perfect traction, no wheel spin. Let's see what's happened to Donny here. Has he been sent? Has he missed his braking marker? Has he just got flustered out or something? He seemed to go off the track. Pace, reasonable start there, obviously, alongside Brody and Peter Thrower there too. What's happened? I think he's just... Oh, no.
Something else. That's a big high-speed accident, and he took Brapp with him as well. So that's a real...
Wrap there.
Absolutely obliterated him. And Donny's still parked up on the exit of 1 here as well. So that's a bit of a strange one. I'm not sure if he's had a systems failure or something going on there because the car has not been removed. So yellow flags are out in force down here at turn 1. And finally, now back to the garage.
Fortunate for Donny, perhaps some sort of error, some sort of lag there, but if it was not, it was just plain completely missing the braking marker, and well, no time to react to the person braking in front of you. Got to be really careful of a race start. Everyone's compressed, but we're looking here towards Higginson, going wide there, out of turn 5, down into the bowl. Lockie Lock, though, not close enough to really apply the pressure. Seeing two different lines here. Higginson in a bit earlier. Lockie Lock seemed to be a bit later, but possibly a bit wider, so Higginson with a better run.
Sorry, I just saw something that I would normally see reminiscent of Brenton Foley going through the bowl. Phil Boak's making some great progress through the field. He's up to 10th, but watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, I'm very intrigued by what's going on here. They'll run us through it.
All right, so coming down the hill into the bowl, it's this. There.
Oh, that is some Tokyo drift coming out right there. Does he remember what league he's racing in? I'm not 100% sure. This is absolutely mental. That was super sideways. And the fact that he's kept that on the road is nutty. But his tyres will have absolutely copped it. He's going to have to be driving very careful. He's finding more positions. Since we last saw him, he's moved up another one. He's up to 9th already.
Yep, he's now ahead of Rhodey. Actually, got from Rhodey up into 9th. I think someone else, actually, Cheese. No, there we go. I was about to say Cheese was further down the order, and then I think it was just a timing glitch. That's now corrected itself. Have a look at this.
It's all on.
It's on like Donkey Kong. Lockie Lock is giving Nathan Higginson a really hard time, and Steve Warwick has got his ears and mirrors full of cheese. So there's a couple of different spots going on here.
Spotfire is definitely on. It's on for all the podium spots. First, second, third, they're all up for grabs. Doesn't matter where you are, you're under threat somewhere. Higginson doing well to realistically fend off Lachlan Locke there after he was starting to getting on him to really start to apply the pressure. It's whether Higginson can deal with this for 17 laps that has always been the big question. He's known to get excited on the loud pedal, so keeping it smooth is vital.
A massive train starting to form behind Steve Warwick now as well. Look at this. You've got Warwick, Cheese, Filippi, Luke Yeager, Damo. Taipan's not far out of this as well. So too Peter Thrower. They're starting to catch up to the back of them as well. There they are coming down the hill. And then Phil Boak in behind that as well. So this is going to get really interesting for the last step on the rostrum and the rest of the top 10. Look at them. They're all over the place. They're going all over the back of that curb at turn 7 as well, which they're legally allowed to do. They're allowed to do that. As the game gives them a track cut, though, they're not going to get it removed. So they've got to know where the limit is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fine line to be pushing, and you don't want to push it too far. Track cut's obviously problematic. Short race, 17 laps, but you know, we've seen crazier things happen. People can get drive-throughs. Cheese really looking racy there through the middle sector. He might look at a move up the inside. He does not. He settles on the racing line, or perhaps he does. Perhaps Warwick is a little bit wider than him, but a good run out of the bulk. He looks like he lit it up a little bit. That's going to hurt him.
It might hurt him a little bit here on the run down the hill. Boker's just gained another position back further in the field. He's now up to 9th. He's picked off Damo. And here comes Cheese down the inside. Authoritative pass. Drags the brake as much as he can. Slides up in front of the Black Shaw's Commodore and hangs onto the position. Steve won't take that line down though. But for the moment, he's just got to think about the long game here. And on top of that, behind him, you've got to think about these guys that are back there as well. Two of the young bulls in Ed Filippi. Probably the highest he's ever been. Probably the highest as Joe Cocker as well, up in 5th place. And then behind him, the other man who started in the top half of the field as well, Luke Yeager, having a really good outing for KSS underdeveloped squad.
Carrying the torch there, him and his brother Damo both posting top 10 results in race 1. They'll certainly want to continue it. Luke won't be content with P6 though. He started in the top 5. He'll want to stay in the top 5, so him continuing to apply pressure to Filippi will be good. But you've got to note how much you battle at the same time, because the more you battle, the more time you lose, the less likely you will be to make up more positions in front of you.
Here comes Boak again down the inside, this time of Thrower. And they're exchanging paint and positions as they go there. And it's someone, Rhodey, two-wheel moment out of the final corner, if you don't mind.
Jeepers creepers, the fact he's still going is wild. I thought he would have fenced it there for sure. He may still have, and now he's under pressure from Lachlan Teglis, not so far behind either. It's on for Super 3 right here, although in saying that, we have Cracker in front of them by a good few seconds now, so that certainly buys Cracker some time. Perhaps they were battling hard.
Here we go, Rhodey just way too much, almost went up, over and away, a la Lachlan Locke in qualifying earlier tonight. He kept it out of the fence somehow, but Cracker was right on his hammer, and Cracker's gone through to take the lead in Super 3.
Yeah, pretty good effort from Cracker, just keeping it on the road, watching people in front of you make mistakes. That curb is deadly. We've seen a couple of drivers do it so far. I saw someone have a monster crash in practice. It might have been Nathan Higginson, in fact, over that curb, where he absolutely went over it, sent it into the fence. So it's not like drivers haven't been caught out by it. Phil Boak continues to just fly forwards. He's already up, 14 positions there?
13 now. Yeah, 13 now. So he's
13,
one shy of what Cheese managed in the first race. He managed 14. So Boak is trying to give him Cheese's record a good run for money. We haven't seen a last to first victory since back in, I think it was 2019. In
Live
what
Mitch
was
days.
it? Yeah, the Live Mitch days. Actually, that was Mitch Hathaway back in the day.
Oh,
Who
woohoo.
managed to do that at Adelaide in a field of about 20 cars or so. So Boak's got a little way to go. He's 8 seconds off the race lead. He's not setting the timing screens alight, but I mean, realistically, top 5 is more than on for him here.
Yeah, I would say top 5 is definitely the goal here for Boak. He's got some people that may be less experienced in front of him, and he certainly shows he is class. I think, I could be wrong here, Nether, but I think these could be some of his first laps of the evening, let alone on the server. So he's absolutely thundering it. Obviously, the mistake early on where he went full Tokyo drift through the bowl, but he's recovered well. He's kept his tyres alive to this point, and now he'll be starting to put some pressure on Luke Jaeger.
He will be indeed. So one more spot to equal the biggest mover and shaker so far this round with 14 places, and then we'll be looking to see what he can do after that. Felipe after that with the run out of the bowl. And you're right, these are the first laps he's done all night. Did 0 laps in practice, 0 laps in qualifying, 0 laps in race 1. He's done 9 laps now in race number 2, and he's picked up 14, that's right, 14 positions in this race, and now up to P6.
Eyes forward to Felipe just ahead. Felipe is a couple of seconds ahead there, but he will close that gap down very quickly. He's got a lot of pace in that car. He's an experienced customer as well. We see there, Lockie Lock, Higgos must have made a mistake somewhere, because he had 1.5 seconds not so long ago.
Yep, there has been a change of position while we've been watching the all the shows going on back and forth in that last race. It was actually a change of position at the end of the last lap as well. It looks like there was a 55.9 for Lockie Lock and a 55.6 for Higginson, and Higginson's actually had a poor sector 1, so it means he had a really bad run off the final corner, and has ceded position here to Lockie Lock with half the race gone. So looks like it might be going to split the wins here.
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off here. There we've got Laszlo Teglis out in the boonies out at turn 4. I think he's made that classic mistake where you go slightly too deep at turn 4, and well, you just go straight into that CRE fence there that has been put up for that exact reason, to stop you from going into the ditch of deadliness. It is a proper bad place to end up.
Yep.
But he's got it all swapped, and yeah, he'll be thankful that wall is there.
There
or
it is,
maybe
right
not.
there.
He actually went into the ditch. Incredible. The ditch of deadliness has caught out Laszlo in this race. I don't know if I've actually seen it in a race happen, but I've definitely done it myself in practice.
He's back on the track at the moment, and yeah, Lewis Wedding put that wall in last year as well, because we had seen that a few times, and it results in drivers getting a disqualification. And you can see there's the leaders behind him, so they've actually not got much to go to actually catch up to the back of the Tevez Shadow Racing 080.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for Laszlo, but good on him. He's going to keep trucking around, get some more points for his team, which is important with so many people away. Looking back to this battle, it's certainly on. We know Higo's got pace. He did pull away a sizable lead in the end in the last race.
Yellow flag at the final corner. It's Cracker. He's coughed up the Super 3 Series lead at the moment. Rhodey goes through. There he is at turn 1, and that's probably a driving error at the final corner.
If I were to guess there, Nether, I would guess that he's gone over the hump and lit up his rears, honestly. There's a little hump in the middle of turn 7. It really delays how much you get on the throttle there. Oh, he's just gone wide, in fact.
Yep,
well,
gone wide and put his foot in it while it was on the dirt. And Randy goes, big 360, check to make sure no one's coming. Nope, I'm all good. And off we go.
Yeah, good work from Cracker there, just waiting to make sure the traffic was clearly past him, and it was, so that's what you always want to see. Drivers are allowed to make mistakes, good to get safe rejoins, things like that, good race practice.
Oh, Higginson getting sideways. He was looking at Lockie Lock, who left the door open at turn 1 there very briefly, and Higo was up the inside in a flash, but he wasn't quite far enough alongside and just couldn't get the drive out of that corner either to really challenge up the hill here. Yellow flags
Melody.
for Melody Smith. That's quickly withdrawn.
Absolutely, big lock up there for Lockie Lock, but we're also seeing through this a yellow Nissan range up on the back of these two. Higo looks like he's struggling a bit right now. He might be a chance to actually cede a position to his teammate there, Cheese. If Cheese can continue this push that he's here, he's well in frame, so this battle is still well and truly on for first. Right now I'd argue that it's a 3-car game between Cheese, Higo and Lock, but obviously right now Lock with a commanding position.
He's in the cat on the hot tin roof here is Lockie Lock, and then Nathan Higginson is the cork in the champagne bottle because Cheese is applying the pressure. Now Higginson's starting to crack. You can see the 00 Commodore starting to crank sideways coming out of some of these corners. That's just that little heavy right foot of his coming back into play again. He doesn't want to do that. You bet you he's on the soft tyre. He's probably starting to really torch those rears. He doesn't enjoy that margin now. And look at that again, sideways again, locking up again. All these little telltale signs, and look at the Nissan behind, just so calm and so collected and so stable. He's quite happy to let Higginson torch those rears.
Yeah, absolutely, but it is still, we're getting towards the end of the race here, Nether. There is only a few laps to go. Now, typically as teammates, you really want to work together, but we're towards the end of the race, and this is for P2 in the race with Boak moving up to P4 incredibly from the back of the grid, shot behind them there. But they may be teammates, but you can guarantee that if Cheese gets up to him, it's on.
Well, Boak was the quickest out of the 4 of them the last time around, only by 0.2 of a second. Lock 56.2, Higginson 55.8, 55.9 for Cheese, 55.7 for Boak. But he's not quite close enough at the moment. He needs the top 3 to start tripping over each other in the last 2 or 3 laps to really make this. There's Teglis! Teglis with massive roll.
Oh, and there's a bit of bump in there down into the bowl there. That's a huge, that was something bad has happened there for Teglis to end up on his roof, but nevertheless.
We'll have to come back to that because he's lost his wing, but the battle is on here for the race lead. And Higo just trying here to get up the inside on the run to 7, but he couldn't quite make it stick. Here he goes.
Still got the run though, he's going up the inside into 1. Lock's just giving it to him. Very surprising almost to not go defensive. Higo locks up his rears a little bit. He's struggling with rear locking a little bit, I'm noticing. Cheese is buying right into this now. They are tight together right now, but Higo gets the move done. I thought there was a bit of a lack of defense there from Lockie Lock there, Nether.
I think so too. I think he let him have that far too easy here. Maybe the rears are starting to go on Lockie Lock's machine as well. Maybe he's pushed it a little bit too hard. Cheese is going to buy into this now. Here he comes.
He's got him.
Got to pull the trigger. He has to pull the trigger. He's got to pull the trigger now if he wanted any shot of the win. And now he's got to really use up whatever he's got left of the Dunlop rubber underneath him to catch Higginson and pass him before the end of the next lap, because the checker will be out. White flag this time around.
Perfect. It wasn't the greatest run out of the bowl for Cheese, so he had to go a little bit defensive to Lockie Lock behind him, but it looks like he's reasonably sorted out his position. P2, Lockie Lock though still a threat. Will he go defensive? No, he won't. He's holding the racing line. He's still pushing forward. Higo locks it up big time, but he manages to keep it on the black stuff. Cheese right on him in this final lap. It is all on. Teammates. They may not be countrymen, but they are certainly teammates in a Kiwi Sim Sports. Cheese is applying the blowtorch. He's been catching up all race. Will he be able to get a job done?
I don't know, but Higo is sweating bullets at the moment. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be down here. Higo's going to move it over, play defense. He doesn't. The car's cranking sideways. One more opportunity for Cheese. It's going to be down the bottom of the hill into 7. He's got to get the run out of here. What does it look like? He's got it. Has he got it? Is he close enough? That's the question.
Not without a mistake from Higo. That's a heroic dive from that distance back. He's a car length back. At this point, it's probably just hope Higo makes a mistake or get a good run out of the last corner, which he will not do. Nathan Higginson will come 2 from 2. Cheese actually with a run there. They're going to have formation. Whoa, that was close.
Just goes to Higginson by 27 thousandths of a second. Nothing in it at the end between the two of them, but that's a fantastic show of exhibition driving from Cheese, Higginson, and this man, Lockie Lock on screen, who faded late there, almost dropped into the clutches of Phil Boak. He was only 0.8 of a second ahead of the 0.46 at the end of the day. And then Steve Warwick holds on to 5th place ahead of Ed Filippi in 6th. Luke Yeager in 7th, who dropped a couple of spots in that one. Peter Thrower gains 2 spots to finish 8th. Taipan loses 2, finishes 9th. And then Damo in the 222 finishes in 10th place there. ahead of Rap. Lead Super 2 runner actually is Cracker. There he is. So there was a late mistake somewhere from Rhodey, and Cracker has taken the chocolates by a little over 0.8 of a second there. So there was a late change of lead in Super 3.
A little bit of you go first, no you go first happening there. Looks like they're just trading mistakes, and unfortunately for Rhodey this time, Cracker gets the better of him. Rhodey was on par for a win there. Cracker had left him plenty of room after his own mistake out of the last corner, sorry, but evidently Rhodey has ballsed it up somewhere, unfortunately for him. Just going through the rest of the grid very quickly, Glenn Miles finishing in P14, Darren Locknan in P15, Melody Smith 1 lap down, P16, and Laszlo Tiglis finishing, even after being on his roof and in the ditch of deadliness, in P17, with our only 2 DNFs being Hayden Cupid and Phil Donny, unfortunately.
Actually, we have got a little replay of what happened to Tiglis. It's most unusual, actually, as well. There he is arriving into the pits. We're actually just rewinding to grab that replay because it was a really awkward one. It looks like he got launched off the turn 5 curb, which I think maybe there might have been either a game glitch or something on his end. We will have that in just a few seconds time, and I think here we go. Yeah, something really bizarre that I hadn't sort of ever seen before. So here it is, actually, for those. This is what happened just as we saw it, as the leaders came through. And I think there's a bit of a game stutter or something here. He's taken too much curb there, and I would dare say he's rolled into the fence, and the game's just sort of playing a bit of catch-up at this point. But there you go, and he ended up on his lid. And, of course, as per the rule, if you do roll your car, you are to pit for damage immediately. That is always the required action, and that is what happens in all cases.
Well, unfortunate for Laszlo. He'd unfortunately not had the best run throughout that race, but it's good to see him out there racing. You know, ASR reaching much further actually than just Oceania. I believe he's Hungarian. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but he's racing from Europe, which is a phenomenal effort. I don't believe he even speaks English properly, if with no disrespect towards that. So
yeah, he's out of, I believe out of Hungary. There's a few other drivers, I think, that have joined us. Felix Kims and, of course, Christian Alvarez. They've also been in the server a few times as well. They've, I think one of them might be out of South Africa, I believe, as well, possibly Venezuela. I've noticed the Venezuelan flag on his car a couple of times, and I'm not so sure about Felix Kims, but I believe he's somewhere in Europe as well. Not sure. Looks like we might have lost NZ Snipes temporarily here. I'm not sure what's happening. It's not getting any feedback from him in the live chat at the moment, or in Discord rather, as we just rolled over to have a little bit of a I guess a very brief. Everybody can now exhale and start breathing properly again after that scintillating finish. What we're going to do is take a little break ourselves, and then we'll be back on the other side of this for race 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's not too far away from race number 3 of the evening here in the development series. Higginson has got both the race wins so far. Race 1 was a bit of a canter. Race 2, he had to earn it though, Snipes.
Back from a net crash, I am. He did have to earn it indeed. Pressure from his teammate there, Cheese. Pressure from Lockie Lock throughout the race. It was actually a cracking race for the win. Well deserved in the end to Higginson to actually hold on and get that. There was times when he found himself not first, so he had to work his way back there and hold on to it among withstanding pressure from, well, a couple of different combatants there. So good effort. Cheese will also be quite happy with his results, obviously starting fifth, getting his way to second. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed that he didn't get the win, but nevertheless, very, very good work. I think one to watch for this race, though, and I'm sure you're well aware of it too, though, the man starting out of fourth position is going to be very dangerous.
I think you cannot say anything more than that. Watch out for Phil Boak starting out of position number 4. He's fought his way through the field. He started 20th. He finished 4th. So you do the math. That works out how many places he's achieved. So he has surpassed the 14 that Cheese managed to do in race 1. I don't think we're going to see another rear of grid drive from anybody in race 3 today. Most of the top combatants are up the pointy end of the field, although I do say that, and I do say that with a little bit of trepidation, but you can't keep a good man down, gentlemen, and in this case, it's this man right here on screen right now.
Yeah,
Ben Hall.
Ben Hall is back for race 3. He's here to make up lost time, so yes, it very well could be on still from the back. He's going to quickly try rock out there, get whatever practice laps he damn well can in while he has the time to be able to do so. He may not have too much time though, but yes, this could be an intriguing figure. He's had some practice throughout the week, so he knows the circuit. But yeah, he'll be starting from the back of the grid, obviously. So I think this is your best chance at someone coming up through the field here.
I think so too. Now, before you actually came back, Snipes, we were worried that you weren't actually going to be able to make it back in time. So I actually didn't organise the replacement. He did this off his own bat, and he's in here for some special comments. He's the man famous for taking over Rhodey's moniker of using 400 words when 10 would have done, as his interview suggested last time out at Winton when we had a chat.
I'll behave.
And if you can hear him now, it's Daniel Cox. Welcome, Coxie.
Good morning, evening, everyone. Yes, I thought I just noticed you, at the end of you said Snipes had disappeared, and I went, I don't want you to be here by yourself. And I thought, well, I'm here, I'll jump on. And great race before. I was in the chat, and I got some pit reports, I guess. Phil D did have his pedals completely died, and so he lucky I didn't kill the entire field in front of him. And if you're curious what happened to Kemp, so he tried to fix his clutch issue by unbinding. I don't know what he did. He unbinded. Oh, he's back on. He's obviously fixed something. He's back on the road. I can see there.
Yep.
But he unbound everything, and I quickly said, "Oh, what the keys are to move your seat position," because when he jumped in the car, there was a big crossbar in front of him. So it's obviously moved the seat back to a different default position or where it's originally meant to be, and yeah, he just couldn't see. So he just said, "Look, everyone go around me." So unfortunately, he missed that race, but he's back in. So hopefully he'll be able to make some room, charge up the field again with Ben Hall.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for him off the rear of the grid with Ben Hall. And I guess for Darren Kemp, it sounds like the field of view had changed. Obviously, he had the clutch issues as well, so he's dropped a whole bunch of points from race 2, but at least he's back in for race 3 and competing. So even if something strange was to happen in this third race, which, I mean, anything is technically possible, he's still going to get a handful of points. And even if down the line he ends up with a bad round or having to miss something, he's not going to, he's going to drop 0 points for that round as opposed to dropping some points that he makes for this one. So you've got to keep putting them points on the board, and then you've got to have them up your sleeve for when the drop rounds get factored in. Now, for those of you that are interested in understanding when that is actually going to take place, It is going to happen, I believe, after round 8. We're just double checking on this now because there is a slight difference with the Super 2, Super 3 development series having an extra round compared to supercars. And when we look through the order for the information on the drop round, it is going to be factored in after round 9, actually. So that's the 100 kilometre special enduro that is taking place for the development series. Of course, the main one is the Bathurst 500. That actually happens the couple of days after the Super 2, Super 3 have their 100k little mini run at Bathurst. And most of those drivers, I'd imagine, are going to be doing some form of double duty in that particular race weekend. So that'll be when the drop round will be applied. And for the supercars, it's after round 8, because of course they've got 11 rounds and the development series has 12. All right, race 3. Gentlemen, what are we going to expect in this one? Are we going to expect some fireworks, or are we going to expect something a little bit different and unusual?
It's going to be racy at the front. It's going to be very racy at the front. I'm intrigued to see how people react to Boak being around them, how these front runners react in particular to Boak being around them, because I feel Boak is a massive threat to win this race. He showed at Winton again how well he can drive. He picked his way through the field. Did that last race 16 positions or something. It was wild. That's an absolutely mammoth effort. 17 laps that are less than 1 minute long. So yeah, I think it's going to be action-packed.
I think so too. Coxie, what are you looking forward to in this one? Who's got your eye at this particular juncture for this race?
I think Boakie's because I think he's just got the experience. He knows not to murder the tyres, because he ended up only being 4 seconds behind leaders at the very end, and he started from P19. So I think he might, I don't know if he might just held back for about, I don't know, 5-6 laps, and then I reckon he might pounce. I don't know, I could be very wrong. And I watch Warwick as well. I reckon he's driving smart. He's not making I don't think he's made any mistakes. So we did have, unfortunately, that lag in the first video, but I think that'll be fine when you re-upload it. But I reckon watch for Ken. I'm not the Warwick. Steve Warwick behind him. I'll let you go to the grid. Sorry, I'm talking too much again.
All good. That's all good. So Higginson and Cheese are going to share row 1, then Lockie Lock and Phil Boak on row number 2. Steve Warwick and Ed Filippi. So Ed Filippi's had a fairly successful night tonight. Luke Yeager and Peter Thrower on row 4, and then Taipan is going to share row 5 with Damo. Then you come to Rapp in the number 97 and 11th with Cracker, who was the lead Super 3 runner in race 2 next door to him. Rhodey, who's his teammate, just behind with Glenn Miles alongside in 14th. And then you've got Darren Lockman in 15th. Then Melody Smith in 16th. Laszlo Teglis occupies the 17th spot on the grid. Then Ben Hall starting off the rear, along with Phil Donny and Darren Kemp. So 3 men off the back of the grid that are going to be trying to advance as many spots as they can, whilst being as tactful as they can. There they go, into the last of the grid boxes, and we cycle back up to the head of the field. Let's see if we can look to the lights and get an idea as to how this one's going to unfold. Wondering if we've got someone maybe slightly out of position.
That's being held just a little bit.
They are being held for a fair while here, and I'm just trying to work out who is. There we go, resets on. Okay, hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. We've had 2 fantastic races so far. Let's make it 3. Away we go. Fairly even start off the front row. Initial phase went to both of them. Higginson, because he's on the inside, has the shorter run to the turn, and he gets through and holds on to P1 just for the moment. Cheese just looks like he's lost a little bit just out of the first turn there, and Higginson is way down.
Yeah,
and
Boak is down 4 spots, I think.
Yeah, he's had an awful start. He's now fallen behind Thrower. Brapp's in there as well. Here comes Taipan wrapping right around the outside of Brapp and now to the inside for turn 5, and we'll have the high ground going down into the bowl.
certainly all on early. Taipan up the inside, he's, well, move secured, and Damo, I believe that is trying to follow him through there, and he's going to get the advantageous run, obviously, a right-hander down at turn 7. He's got the run to be alongside. It's about if he can be courageous enough under brakes to keep it there.
Look at Kemp and Hall. They're already making big ground and big gains. Where are they up to? They're up to 13th and 14th respectively. And here they come again. Now to try and almost go 3 wide down a front straight on poor Cracker.
Yeah, certainly going defensive there. No way through for Hall at all. That was wild. Hall did well to pull out of it in the end. The battle will continue, and let me tell you, it's going to be fierce because Darren Kemp's not going to want to give one up, but he's also going to want to move forward.
Absolutely. Here they come up through turn 3 and 4, now on to 5. Cracker's got his elbows out here. He's a lead Super 3 runner at the moment, and between him and Rhodey, he's got these 2 fast Super 2 drivers in next door to him. Here goes Kemp down the inside. The door was left very much open there, and through he goes. Not so much for Hall, though. Hall
no,
couldn't.
no.
Absolutely not, says Cracker. I need the line for the next turn.
Yeah, disaster.
Ben's probably going to have to make a move here. He wants to keep with Kemp. He doesn't want to get stuck behind all this.
Yeah.
Move as fast as because he wants team points. He was mentioning before the race that he wants to get team points while he can.
Importantly as well, because Hall missed the first race, Kemp did score a couple of points. For championship reasons, he wants to make sure he stays within striking distance as well. If Hall's going to fall a bit further down the order, he needs to minimise the damage to Kemp as they scythe past Brack. And now they head up through and then attached to the back of the man in 10th place in Damo.
Yeah, they're certainly pushing through the field. A lot of the field's kind of settled in front of them to just a bit of a race rhythm here. So this is definitely where the action is. Does Damo go defensive? He's certainly in the middle of the track, but Darren Kemp forces the issue on the inside. Now no, Ben Hall will not be able to follow him through. Damo wise to it, covers off that line there, turning through the corner, but now Hall's going to push up the inside into 7. You'd fancy with Hall that's going to be job done. That's a commanding position to be in, but Damo trying to cover.
He's covering very, very well as well. He's just leaving just enough space and not anything else. That's all he's leaving. And basically Kemp had to make a wedge at the bowl and force his way through, and the number 222 gave him plenty of room. And a safety car has been called. Safety car called.
Oh, at the back on last corner, it looks like Teglas
and Smith, I think, maybe might have been involved in something. So the first safety car of the evening.
Woohoo.
And it is evening here. It's actually 5 p.m. game time. And here we go. What's happened here? Okay, so Teglas has gone off on his own, and Smith came around the corner and just, well, she would have had sight. The trouble would have been she would have had sight of that, but probably committed to the braking zone and couldn't get out of it in time.
So what this does, now if people, once you get to the line, you manage your tyres. You've got to look after your tyres because this will give you basically one yellow lap is like half a normal lap if you do it right. So you might see them take wider lines, just take it easy, slow in, don't accelerate out. You just want to manage the left side of your car.
Yeah, you absolutely need to manage it. You've got to be careful because the left-hand side, of course, is the working side around here. Now, importantly for Higo, he didn't want to see that safety car. He had about a 2-second margin out in front. He was enjoying a nice, quite comfortable drive in the evening sunset, and now he's got a Nissan up his clacker.
Yeah, certainly does. It's going to be, he'd driven away to a reasonable gap, but yeah, the pressure's going to be on again, and it will be race on. This does compress the field. Compressing the field always leads to hard fighting. Obviously, Phil Boak lost some spots early. He's managed to claw his way back to P5. I still think he's very much one to watch, especially now that the safety car has happened. It will all put everyone together. Now, the question is, if you're at the back, do you just box and put on a new set? I think you do.
Yeah, I think if you're not going to lose that much time, and the field is so compressed as well, you could actually come in and get it done. Now, just having a look here from Higginson's perspective, we're in the passenger seat here. You can see that the sun is sort of setting at the back part of the circuit, so it's a little bit of an awkward sort of a look at turn 7 as they're coming down the hill. It's not going into a setting sun, but the glare can sort of upset your rhythm a little bit. It is a little bit later in the day. We have had 3 races now, or this is the 3rd race, with a slightly different time setting. This is a bit unique for this event. The race starts at 1:30 p.m, 3:30 p.m, and now 5 p.m. to get a few different looks at the track and a few different track conditions and aesthetics as well. The race, of course, is still time certain as well, so even though we are ticking off the laps behind the safety car, it is a time certain thing. So if the safety car goes for a full 4 laps, it'll put us very close to finishing based on time if we were to get another.
Looks like no one took pit entry because, like you guys said, I reckon, yeah, probably, yeah, if in the back half, I would have ducked in for the pits and get new fresh boots because it will make an advantage in the later stage of the race, most definitely.
If you started on the hards, I think it's a no-brainer if you're at the back to come in and
yes.
change it for softs at this point, because you will be able to comfortably make it home. A number of drivers would have probably thought about going with the soft, but then because of the risk factor being at the end of the race, if you abuse them a bit too much, then you run the risk of popping a tyre or the tyre just sort of giving up the ghost, and you have to manage. But now that the management out in front is not going to have to be as intense for these guys, they're then going to, the guys down the back, they're on the hards, they're basically throwing away any possible chance of advancing up the field. Come in, as you said, get a fresh set of boots and then start to make some progress, because you will make progress at the restart.
Looks like, yep, no one's.
Oh,
hang on, no, Tegless.
Tegless is the only
So
one.
maybe if he's got no damage from that massive shunt, he might. Well, he probably, if he repairs it, he might be able to get out in time if he's got fresh boots. He might be, charging up through the Super 3s.
Well, he'll have some damage in that as well. Now, I would imagine that he's coming into the pits not only for the damage repair, but he's also coming in from the point that getting the tyres as well. He would have probably thought, because of the way the GT3 series is run, that the pits are closed on lap 1. No, sorry, the lap 1 of the safety car. It's not the case in supercars. The pits are open from the get-go. And it looks like, yes, it might just be changing those tyres and then just a minimal damage repair to get going. So he's leaving the lane now as the field is heading up out of the bowl.
Just
We'll have
enough
to get a
time
move
to
on.
catch up. Yeah.
We don't know if the pace car's coming in. We'll have to watch that, but he should hopefully catch up. He's 45 seconds at the last, marker at the moment, but hopefully he can catch up.
Yeah, so the Snake's just leaving the exit of the pole now. If he catches the pack, he's going to catch the pack at the back of the pack at full speed. Now Higginson's back to ride off here. Safety car suspector's in. There it goes. Off to the right, and Higginson's got control of the field. So Tegless is not going to be able to be right on the back of this Snake here. He's going to be about a third of a lap short, as Higginson takes him all the way down to the control line, single file, and away we go. There's a push and shove in the back. There looks like, there's a bit more as well. It's like Damo got into the back of Kemp, and then Kemp maybe had a bit of contact incidentally with Felipe after being unsettled.
Possibly
He took him
jump
to
in
the
the
line.
restart.
Yeah, he took him to the line. Everyone thought he might have gone a bit earlier, and you got to watch the guy in front of you, basically.
Here we go. I'll get a bit of a look at this on the replay. I'm pretty sure they were just fanning out here. Oh, they went a little bit early, and then actually it was Kemp into Taipan, and then Kemp actually, after trying to get off Taipan, moved across accidentally, I think, there on Felipe.
I was quite lucky not to be any bigger, to be honest.
No, I think you're right there, Coxie. That was very, very close. It could have been a very big disaster. Could have taken half the pack with it, and just very lucky that all cars stayed pointing
Look
the
at
right
this.
direction.
All 4 of them are there. All 4 of them, top 4, right there.
Snipes.
It's absolutely on here, honestly. Cheese is pressuring Higo again, but Phil Boak right there. He's going to be pressuring Lockie Lock. This podium, this top 3 is nowhere near settled. They've got many laps still to go in the context of this race. They've got almost half of it. So there's still plenty, in fact, not over half, there's plenty of time to get there, to get this done. Phil Boak right on the back. I still think he's a mega threat. I know I've been saying it all race, but he's right there and he's super quick. The pressure is totally on the front 3 guys.
Yeah, look, and they're all getting sideways coming out of the bowl as well. All 3 of them had some moments there. Cheese, Locke and Boak all tried to get the upper hand on each other, and neither of them could pull it off. Locke right around the outside. That's a bold move at the final corner. Is he going to get it done? He does get it done. Now he needs to move across and head off the possible repass into 1. And he's left the door open just a little bit there. Cheese is gnawing and gnawing and gnawing away on the rear bumper there, but Locke holds.
Great pass.
Yeah, good move again. It's just fantastically precise, very assertive, which is really what you want to see. Assertive but clean, which is also what it was. Great racing between the pair of them, honestly, but it's certainly not over. All of this is buying Higginson time out front to get in front, and also it's buying Boak time to really put some pressure on the back as he looks to get a good run out of the bowl at Cheese. He's got a reasonable run there, but Cheese is going to have the benefit still of the toe in front of him to help drag him along, so it's not going to be so cut and dry as the toe will just get him, but he shapes up to the inside, under brakes. I think he's going to get the move done here. That's well, deep, but very well done. Great racing between the two of them. Not a lot of room, but enough for the racing to happen. Cheese has held that on from the outside, which is fantastic. Very hard to do there, but really good from the pair of them.
Very clean racing, very hard and fair racing between all of them. I'm surprised though here, Coxie, Higginson hasn't been able to jump away at the restart. Like, even though the 3 cars behind him have had a bit of a fight and a squabble for position, Higginson's not been able to capitalise here. Is he going into like a tyre management mode, so he's got something left to fight with at the end?
I think it's just the other 3 don't have to. I think they've all realised, hang on, we've saved our tyre here, we can probably all go for it now. And I think basically everyone's, not tyre managing, so they're all sort of keeping at the pace.
A bit further behind as well as a good little battle unfolding for 5th, 6th and 7th. You've got Peter Throwers moved up 3 spots in the field. Steve Warwick wants that spot back. And then Luke Yeager in behind them as well. He's having a good run with 3 top 10s so far on the night that he's looking to make out of all of this. And Warwick's having to play some defence at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly battles happening all up and down the top 10, movers and shakers all throughout the field. We've still got a very well progressing Darren Kemp and Ben Hall. The battle is absolutely manic at the front at this point in time. There's been a little bit of bumping and grinding. I tell you what, these 4 just are right together, although it seems to split out just then. But my lord, there's battles all throughout the 10. Times are close. It's a close circuit. There's a lot. It's not a close. It's a short circuit. So there's a lot of really tight racing between it.
5 laps to go this time around as well. So the laps are fast running out if you want to get yourself on the rostrum. Boak's going to try the cheese trick. He's going to go the long way round at turn 7. That's ambitious. So does the curb cam say at the other side? Side by side is what it says.
And I think it's the point Snipes Kane made before, is that there is that bump on the racing line, and therefore you sort of got to lift a little, and the person around the outside, up ahead though. Look at the lock. Oh, here we go.
Starting to get feisty now. A few locked brakes, a few mistakes starting to creep in. The setting sun sets. Lock spin. Was that contact?
Yep, that was contact. But I don't know if that was Cheese's fault. I think he got a bit loose and he just hit him. And look at that.
Boak sends it down the bowl at turn 6 on lap 13. Cheese tries to fight it back, but he gets the car cranked sideways at the wrong possible moment. Couldn't get the drive out off the line. And now Boak can set his sights on the back of Higginson. But before he does that, he's got to be wary, because here comes the 747 Nissan yet again. And this is where the action station is at. And then behind them, there's another one going on as well. We'll have to go and have a look at that in just a few moments. There it is, back a shot. Hall and Kemp locking horns.
And I think Boak has saved his tyres. I reckon he's gone, right, this is my chance to pounce, and he's pouncing right now.
There's the view out the back of car 046. Up the hill they go. Now a little puff of smoke. They're all sending smoke signals like the Indians. They're sending it up to the heavens, but they dissipate very quickly coming off the Dunlop rubber underneath these cars. Now Higginson's got to play defence, but I don't think he can play defence for the better part of 4 laps.
No, surely not.
No. He got hung out to dry there, Phil Boak. That was always going to end badly, and he absolutely got hung out to dry.
He had the pace around there, but there's just room ran out, unfortunately. But amazingly, Higo's maintained his composure and he's still up front.
Here we go, Kemp and Hall, and now starting to ply the blowtorch and starting to work their way past Steve Warwick, who's had a good round so far, but the faster men coming through the field are just starting to show their class a little bit here. Kemp's gone through to 7th. Hall's now just throwing it up over the curb at turn 1, and Warwick's having none of that, and he's going to fight it every way for the last 3 laps.
Plenty of room, plenty of respect still being given, but Hall is the captain of HMS Send It right now. He wants to get past him as soon as he can because he wants to catch Kemp. I guarantee it'll be a little bit of a goal starting with Kemp to be finishing ahead of Kemp, and he's running out of laps to do it. There is not many laps to go in this race indeed.
And just a quick side note, Teglis has been charging through up the back. He's slowly catching up to Lachlan, but he's come up to 17th and Lachlan's 18th, and he's only 1 second behind. So just keep the battle on the front here, though. Look at this.
Absolutely, the new tyres starting to play well for Teglis here. We just keep watching Warwick and Hall. Hall's finally got that job done. As in the background there goes Brap for a bit of an excursion and bowling over a couple of sides.
Jaeger's out.
There
so
he is.
He's bowled it wide.
He has indeed. Luke Jaeger has bowled it wide. That gives a free kick again gives a free kick to Darren Kemp because he was the first man on the scene and gets past him with little effect. And then behind him now comes Hall in 7th and Steve Warwick up to 8th with Jaeger going off the road. So back to this battle at the front. It's all closed up again here. We're coming to the white flag this time around. So if you're going to make a move, you've got to make it now. Higginson, lights ablaze. There's lap traffic at play here. It's Melody Smith.
This will be interesting.
Here comes Locke. Got to go the long way around the outside. That's not going to come off here.
It's too wide. He's not gonna be able to get it done. This is all on for Cheese and Higo here. Boakes here shaping up the inside of Locke. He might get the move done. He locks up on the inside, but he should still get the move done. He does. Locke unfortunately falls out to 4th. This is Boakes' time to pounce. It looks like Harry's got a reasonable lead away from Cheese. Only what, half a second in it there, Nether.
Nothing at the moment.
Melody.
Yeah.
Right out of the way then. Right, the awkward spot, but here we go again.
Here we go. Last of the two, or second last of the passing spots down here at the bowl. Looks like Lockie Lock might be out of this one. Cheese, he missed out by a whisker in the last race. He needs a good drive out of the bowl here. Is he going to get it? Here he comes.
Got it.
Higginson was a little bit wide at the second to last corner. That's the overlap that the 747 needs to come down the inside here at 7. He's got to be late on the brakes. He's got to get up in front of it. The switch is going to be on. He's gone. He's thrown it away. Higginson's going to make this one 3 out of 3. Cheese has thrown it away. Boak's going to get up to 2nd.
Oh,
Boak's
unfortunate for Cheese.
Oh, he just committed too hard to the brake pedal and too late.
Yep. Yeah, disaster
And
for him.
Threw it away. So Higginson with a perfect round, but he's had to earn every point he has earned out of the 300 tonight. He has had to fight tooth and nail for in the second 2 races. Lockie Lock to 3rd. Peter Thrower ends up 4th in all of that. Cheese managed to recover 5th, so he managed to keep it going through the gravel. So he had enough of a margin to stay ahead of Hall, who actually managed to get the better of Kemp in that last lap as well. So that's another late change of position there. And then Steve Warwick, geez, he had his ears boxed in, didn't he, fellas?
Certainly did. My gosh, my heart is genuine. I wasn't even racing and my heart is pumping. That was wild. What a finish. Oh, it's so unfortunate sending it off in the last corner, but that's a product of really good competitive hard racing and forcing a mistake in the end from trying to just get the move done. So it sucks, but it's good to see at the same time, if that makes sense.
It does. And then you got Luke Jaeger finished 9th, Felipe 10th, and then Phil Tonney, who actually started at the back of the pack, he actually managed to get up to 11th. So he started 19th, finished 11th. Good result for him there. Good chunk of points after that accelerator jam in race number 2. And then Rhodey's the lead Super 3 runner in this race, so he splits the wins with Cracker, so 2 wins to Rhodey, 1 win to Cracker, so he'll be the Super 3 round winner for this round number 5. Ooh, as Lucky Lock does something a bit weird and unusual there. He's what on earth is going on?
He cleared the fence just then.
Yes.
He actually climbed over. That's impressive, actually.
All right, so let's bring this one up on the replay then. This is worthy of another moment in ASR history, so here we go. Into the pit lane. I mean, we always... do we need to cue the Benny Hill theme music here, people?
It feels like that's such a random thing. Perhaps it's some sort of hardware issue, whereas he just sends it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's had a bit of a... I don't know. I don't know what to say, gentlemen. I don't know what to say.
The pit lane. So we've got a monster truck show after the race, apparently.
Yeah, I think that car's going to have to go to the scrutineering bay after this one.
Yeah, that's going to be a post-race penalty right there for murdering
No,
5 people in the pit lane.
if it's not in the rule book, you can climb fences. I don't think it's anywhere mentioned in the rule books.
No, I don't think it's mentioned in the rule books at all. We'll have to leave that one. But geez, fellas, we have to catch our breath after that one. There's actually plenty of action up and down the field, and well, those last 2 races were an absolute cracker. I'm glad we actually got the live streaming stuff sorted after that, because I was a bit concerned that if we hadn't got it sorted, that we were going to end up with a slideshow for the rest of the night, and then the audience, I guess, would not have been happy. Let's just put it that way. But we're gonna have to get our round winners and stuff up here for a bit of a chin wag, and they're all starting to make their way up now. And well, I guess Snipes, we might start with you with this one. Who do you want to grab first?
We've got just a couple of drivers slowly making their way in. I'll start with you, Lockie Lock. You've had form throughout the week. You've had pace. You've certainly showed that you've got speed to be really racing up the front. Are you happy or disappointed with your night?
I'm pretty happy.
Good.
I think battling was awesome.
Yeah.
And props to all the lapped cars. They knew where to go, get out of the way. So well done to all those guys. But yeah, I'm really happy with the result. And again, good battling is always better than a win, and the curse lives. So.
I think you're going to get there soon, mate. Honestly, throughout basically all of those races, it's consistent battle. It seemed for that top 3-4. Perhaps you didn't have the best qualifying effort, but you certainly made your way through towards the front of the field. Where after you'd finished qualifying, you found yourself in P6. What was your mindset? What were you looking at achieving from there?
Yeah, well, qualifying, we had a bit of traffic, so it put us a lot further down than we would have liked. But my mindset as soon as we went on that warm-up lap was just to get as many cars off the start and then look after the tyres, which was definitely a struggle tonight. In the first 2 races, that last race with the safety car really helped us out. But yeah, I was really struggling with tyres, so I just wanted to get as many positions as possible and just hold on till the end.
Yeah, no, I thought overall you did pretty well. So did you find tires to become more of an issue? Did you find tires to become a big issue at all, or did you think managing them was largely okay but still problematic?
I think I didn't manage them very well in those first 2 races. Definitely, I could have done a lot better to manage them. The deg in that second race was shocking compared to the first one. It caught us off guard, and yeah, that's why we slowed down at the end of that stint. Just didn't have the tires. They lost grip almost immediately. They fell off the cliff, and I just had to hold on for P3, which we barely scraped in. So.
No, fair enough, mate. Look, overall, I think you've done a fantastic job. You continue to honestly shine in this series. You find yourself battling up the front quite consistently, and most importantly, battling clean and fair. And it's super entertaining to watch you race, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. I will move over to Nathan Higginson. All right, Higgo. So you came in with reasonable. You were feeling a bit off the pace early. How was the pressure feeling towards through qualifying and then towards starting the first race?
Well, the pressure through qualifying was, I think it got to me a little bit just with how many mistakes I was making throughout qualifying. It was just I was constantly throwing it off at the first corner. I feel like I was just being a bit overzealous on the brakes. It's weird, the pressure kind of just fell away as I went into the first race. It's like, I know, it's unfortunate for Cheese having an invalidated time, but it propped me up to the front row, which allowed me to try my best to get a good start and beat Kemp off the line. Because if I was able to beat Kemp off the line, I would, I know I'd be able to get out in front and just race my own race. So I guess the pressure kind of fell away because I knew that I guess I had no expectations.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So, going into the races, you started quite far up front. You're racing consistently among the top three. There was a lot of hard racing between you and your teammate tonight. Were you feeling the pressure from Cheese? How was that all going?
He was definitely applying the blowtorch. I definitely felt the pressure from behind. I was thinking to myself, I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking to myself, look, if you want it, you can come and get it, but I'm not gonna make it easy. just because
Look,
her teammates doesn't mean I'm gonna make it easy.
no, that's good. So you find that there's a healthy mix of teamwork and rivalry within the team generally when you guys are up
Oh,
battling each other, or
absolutely. We and just touching on the team, I just want to give shout out to the whole KSS Super 2, and I just want to give a shout out to the whole team tonight. I mean, all of us in the top 10 for 2 of 3 races. That's as a team effort. That's absolutely brilliant.
absolutely, bro, for sure. Now, fantastic work tonight. You're starting to stretch out a lead in the championship. Do you feel heading into the next kind of rounds? Do you feel comfortable heading into Hidden Valley? How do you feel around there?
Hidden Valley's been a mixed bag of results, but I'm definitely not feeling comfortable just yet. I guess the old adage goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and we've still got a good half the season to go. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket just yet.
Oh man, well, nevertheless, fantastic effort tonight. Certainly stretching out a bit of a lead in the championship. It's good to see you doing well, mate.
Thank you. And I just want to give a shout out to Cheese, Lockie, and Boki for the fighting up the front. Like that is hands down some of the best racing I've had. Well done.
Yeah, good stuff. Excellent. I'm gonna move over to Boki now, if that is all right. All right, Boki. Tell me, did you put any practice in at all this week?
No, I didn't, mate. I did
Right,
not.
right.
We were sent.
So then your first practice laps was the start of race 2. Am I correct?
Correct. And it was
And
a
you
bit
moved.
wild.
Let me tell you, we saw your Tokyo Drift moment, and that was fantastic to watch. How was it feeling when you lost that? Were you thinking it was gone?
Oh man, I thought I was dead. I just missed the blip grab. I think I went down to third, and she just kicked. I'm like, oh, here we go.
No,
So
well saved. All right, so you're starting at the back in race 2, and you have done 0 practice. What's the mindset? What are you thinking?
I ain't been it really. It was just about going out and having a bit of fun. I was spewing I missed race 1, I missed Crowley, but it is what it is. I thought, I'll just go out and have some fun. We'll see what happens. See where I can get.
No, absolutely. I feel you certainly show a touch of class with the racing. How do you feel like you've got a lot of experience in racing, I feel. How do you feel the racing largely has been over the Super 2 field?
Unfortunately, I've missed a lot. But it's been good. I haven't had an issue. No. I mean, sometimes there's little things like racing room and things like that, and but otherwise, I haven't really got much to complain about, to be
That's
honest. But like I
fantastic.
said, I've missed a lot of rounds, so
No,
spewing
absolutely.
could have been a
Well,
front runner.
yeah, well, you certainly can be. I feel that you certainly show your class every time. Tell me, driving in that last race with that front 3 battle, you managed to get your way up to second, and I believe it was the last lap there, courtesy of Cheese absolutely sending it to the Shadow Realm. Um, did you feel the win was on at any point in that race, or were you just settling for kind of where you were and trying to put the pressure just onto those top 3 guys in front of you?
Before I let the clutch off, I thought we could get a win here, and then that failed, and it was just recovery. From that point on, I thought, I'll just see what I can do. I'll put some pressure on. I'll try and get to the top 3 and see what happens. But I started running out of time, so I started pushing a bit harder, and I started cooking the rears a bit, and I just couldn't get the drive out of the bowl, and I just kept drifting out of there. So it was frustrating. It was good fun. Like I was having a ball, but like I wanted that win. So no, it was good fun. It was good fun.
Hey, that's good, man. I tell you what, it's definitely a treat to watch you racing in the league. You're pushing through the field is always entertaining. Very well done tonight.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Oh, I'm gonna hand it over. I'm gonna just chill for a second.
You had enough.
Someone else can ask a question.
You've had enough there. I think we might try and keep things moving here. Let's actually toss over to our top 2 in Super 3 for the night. The 2 teammates, actually. We might start, we might do it as a 2 apart here. We'll start with Rhodey. Rhodey, you had a pretty decent race one. You actually won by a comfortable margin, but a little bit harder fought in the second 2 races. You seeded second race to Cracker, and then you had to sort of come from behind in race 3.
Yeah, race 1, I didn't even intend it to be quite as cruisy as it was. I didn't realise I'd won until somebody told me afterwards, because I was like, oh no, Cracker's got this. Oh wait, no, Cracker's fallen off. Oh wait, no, that's me. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it was just a good bit of fun just trying to get back into the rhythm of things. Got the tyres to last pretty well, which is good. Went sort of full hand with it, playing around with the roll bars and whatnot, trying to do what professional race drivers do for a change rather than just having a wobble. Race 2, the track temp picked up, which caught a lot of us off guard. And there was points at that race where I was really questioning whether I get the tyres to last. So I elected to bite the bullet. I've got a pretty healthy lead. Most of my competition isn't necessarily available tonight, so it's better to lose a spot and still make the finish than blow a tyre and lose 5 or 6. And then, race 3, that all got a little bit exciting. I think I had Ben and Kempy come up on me on like lap 2 or whatever it was, and I went, yep, no, I'm not fighting this. Those guys have got their own little battle. And then safety car came out, and a bit of a run from there. But no, just some really good racing, and really good racing with the Super 3 field here today, actually. Like a lot of guys picked up pace. I think there was at one point, actually, we even had Melody was keeping up, and Melody's been doing a good job getting her pace up and her confidence with her driving. And she's coming on quite well, actually. So really happy for the whole Super 3 field as a whole. That was some really, really good racing for everyone in the field.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, quite a good race throughout the field. Actually, at one stage, we looked down the back, I think, for starting in race number 2, and the whole field, Super 3 field, was lumped together. So we knew there was going to be some good racing there. If I go to your teammate, Cracker. Cracker, you got yourself a class win in Super 3 tonight, but a couple of strange moments for yourself. You were off the road once or twice, and managed to recover it, keep it on the island, though, and bring home a solid chunk of points.
Yeah, it'd be good to keep it straight for a race, I think. Not pointing the wrong way, but I was lucky to save the tyres in that second race and be able to get Rhodey. I wasn't quite sure what was going on when I got past him. It's just been a struggle. It's been a struggle to be consistent. But and I just that third race just managed to put the tyres off the grass a tiny bit, and that was the end of that. So anyway, we'll just fight on.
Well, it's it's hard for you, I guess, too, because you had a bit of a rough start to the year as well, the opening couple of rounds, and you sort of started to rebound. You started to find your groove a little bit now in the last round or two, which is great to see. And it's good to see, get yourself a class win tonight as well in Super 3. But not only that, we look going at the next round is, I guess, to your current home turf in Darwin, because you've relocated in the last year.
Yeah, 100%, and I'll definitely be going there. I've been there to watch some go-kart racing in the last couple of weeks, so I've had a good look at the track. So, and I'll be there for the supercars. So, we'll see how we go after that.
All right, Ripper, look forward to seeing you both next round out, and well done on your results tonight, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nether.
All right, and what I want to do here is, while Snipes, I'm sure he's still recovering his vocal cords for this one. You're close enough. I'm going to throw over to Steve Warwick here. Steve, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong here. Is this your first podium in ASR Development Series, or am my eyes deceiving me here?
I think it's the second one.
Second? Okay, well, there we go.
I think I got one in New Zealand, in NZ.
Oh yes, yes, I do recall now. Actually, no,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. So it's my eyes are deceiving me. That's what happens when I don't pay attention to some things sometimes. But there you go. No, you good result in race number 1 for yourself. But then you got your ears boxed in a bit in race 2. Everybody wanted a piece of you.
Yeah, yeah. But, like, I was struggling with tyres, just like everybody else. And, yeah, just getting the bar settings right was something that I was struggling with
What was
in both
the
race 2 and 3.
What was the evolution like of the track? I mean, the guys were talking about the because of the different daytime temperatures, the track temperature going up quite substantially in the second race. How much work did you actually have to do with the bars to try and get the car to settle?
I changed them a couple of times, and it didn't it didn't seem to help too much at first, but then later in the race it wasn't too bad, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, you'd already sort of fallen a bit out of the
Yeah,
contention that you
yeah,
needed to be. I mean, you only still to be commendable to finish only 5.3 seconds off the race win at the end of the day, behind all the guys that were ahead of you that had gone past and having their own private little battle, and just managing to hang on ahead of Ed and Felipe as well. So, as much as you did get
yeah.
your ears boxed in, you did have quite a good toe-to-toe exchange with a number of guys in the second two
Yeah, I
races.
did. I really enjoy it. Never. I have great fun with these guys, and I just like being in here and chasing them around and putting it to them when I can.
Well,
That's a lot of fun. I
it is.
really enjoy it.
It is, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time out in a couple, actually next week here for Supercars here, and then a couple of weeks on
Yep.
from there, we'll Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley, yeah. I like Hidden Valley. Not a bad track. I like this track too, but as everyone knows, it's the tyres here. They really kill the cars, and you've got to get it right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I might throw this one back to Snipes now, actually, because I know he wants to have a chat to his housemate, but also I think his housemate needs to give him a smack across the back of the head from some of the comments that he actually gave him a little bit earlier. Go on.
Yeah, Cheese, you suck. No, man. All right. So you've been chasing Nathan Higginson for like 3 races at this point, right? Or 2 races at this point. You get up his inside. It's the last lap of the last race. What happened?
I think I closed my eyes. I I couldn't see the brake marker. I was trying to push it a little bit too deep because I know he was pretty confident. So just lost it. The usual, throw it away, right there.
Yeah, timeless. Look, I think the effort tonight was still pretty good. You're coming in off a personally viewed lack of practice. So you qualified really well. You put yourself on the front row. Fantastic effort. Wrong gear ratio, was it?
Yeah, look, my sim hasn't actually even been plugged in this week. So I just sort of got in there last minute, threw everything together, jumped straight in the track, and I was like, okay, cool, I've made it in time, let's go. I had completely lapsed my mind to even check that stuff. So it was a bit of a gutted moment to see that I wasn't going to start on the pole on the front row. But that's all right. I made it work.
Yeah, you did. So then you start what, P19? Well, did you reset? What did you do mentally?
I just got involved. I normally kind of be a bit more cautious, but I would just wanted to get up the front as fast as I could before they draw too much of a gap. So I just kind of pushed it, threw it around the track. I was abusing the hell out of those tires. So
It certainly made for excellent racing up the front. You yourself, Locke, Higo, Boke there popping in. Did you have any particular highlights, any top moments that are notable other than sending it?
Well, the photo finish between me and Higo on race 2 was pretty spectacular. I didn't want to push him too hard, and I didn't want to panic him into a mistake, but I definitely wanted the spot, so I thought I would leave it as late as I could, and then have a go. And it nearly worked out. It really did, but it wasn't quite there. The third race though, that was wild from start to finish. It was just trying to push Higo along, and not panic him, and then trying to not be pushed by the people behind me, and everything was just scary and chaos. And
Yeah,
I just held in there to the end, and then binned it.
It certainly was a bit of panic at the disco. Anyway, Cheese, well done for your races. I thought you raced very, very well tonight, even though you did absolutely send it to the Shadow Realm, which I am amused by. Very good work, bro.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Look, the whole KSS team absolutely killed it tonight. They all did really well, so that was fantastic to see. Thank you.
Straight up.
Catch you later.
Cool, man. All right. Darren, we're going to move over to Darren.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry about tonight, my man.
Probably the hard luck
Uh,
story of the
it-
night, I think, here we're
Yeah,
talking
we're
to.
going
No,
to
it
finish on
happens.
some heartbreak. I'm so sorry here, Darren. But firstly, let's look at the good stuff. Pole position.
That was my first poll, I think. I was pretty
I
happy
think
with
it
that
was too.
too.
I thought it was. So
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
pretty good.
Congratulations. That is a cool feeling, and it's great to see someone get a pole for a first time. Did you
Yeah,
think when what you put in a 54.7 or something, if I remember correctly? Did you
yeah.
think when you put in that lap that it was safe?
No, I did not because I did that like on the fourth lap. And it's like, there's no way that's going to hold. And I went and got some new tyres and went again. And I just couldn't match it. It's like, what the hell did I do? But yeah, it happens like that. Just come together. You know what it's like.
Absolutely did. People,
And then it was all downhill from then. My clutch stuck on halfway, but I managed to finish in 18th. So I kept out the way of everyone, but I managed to get some points there. And then for some unknown reason, my computer went ballistic. Bloody I couldn't see the cockpit. I had a big roll bar in front of my eyes and I couldn't see anything, so I just had to DNF. And then I had to go back in and reset my computer, then go back into off server and reset everything. And yeah, then I was back for the third. And I didn't do too bad in that race actually.
No, you certainly
Till the
didn't. Bit of a
um,
bumper battle with Ben Hall as you progressed through the field together.
yeah,
It was certainly made for really good viewing, Darren. We watched plenty of it there. So you after what I feel um is a disappointing round technology wise, I still think you raced very, very well. And I think the effort to finish that race, even though your clutch was stuffed, we in the broadcast thought it was your perhaps, I don't know, some sort of gearing issue, some sort of
no,
I
it was
thought it was fuel. Yeah.
my clutch pedal stuck on halfway, so I just pulling the gear and I could only like half throttle or it just like peaked out. So yeah, I just had to putt around as best I could, keep out
Absolutely.
everyone's way. So which I managed to do, so that was good.
I thought that was very good. And then your race 3, I thought was also a very commendable effort.
Yeah, I had the red mist on. I was angry.
Well, very good work, Darren.
That's
Unfortunate
good.
night, but still, it
No,
was
it
good to see
happens.
some of your character come out this evening, I feel.
Yeah,
Very
so
good job.
got to push on. Just got to keep going. It's all
That's
good.
the one.
All right, thanks for your broadcast, boys. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks to Snipes as well. And I guess Coxie, you've heard a fair bit of comments and feedback from all the guys we interviewed there. What's the theme you take out of it? That I think adaptation to situations you're thrown at is probably the big one I take out of that. What about yourself?
Yeah, tires. That's especially like last season in Super 2. Tires were like you always had to make your tires last, and like you can try, you can go as really fast as you want to. You want to go fast as possible, but sometimes you just gotta ease it out and just let them breathe a little. And I honestly think that's what Boak did especially in the last race. I reckon he just waited it out because he was 4 laps to go. He was there, and he actually tried to pass around the outside of the bowl. If he did that, that would have been the pass of the night. But I think the good takeaway from this night, I reckon, is everyone sort of closed up because at the beginning of the season it was sort of Higginson versus Hall. Like who's going to win out of those two? And this time, like Cheese was right up there, Boak was right up there. Throw actually had a decent race in the last race, so he was, so it was sort of like while there was a yellow, I think the pace is like everyone's sort of getting closer and closer to each other. We're not just having sort of two people stream out in the front. So I think that's a good thing to take away from this round.
Yeah, I think so too. There's still a long way to go. I mean, 5 rounds in now and completed, and there's 12 all up, and of course a drop round to factor in as well. So plenty of water to go under the bridge yet. And next stop out, Snipes, Hidden Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. Another good circuit. I actually quite enjoy Hidden Valley, although I've had a few tales of woe mixed in with some good races there. I actually remember in Super 2, I punted you off twice in one race. I
Mhm.
think at Hidden Valley, Nether. My apologies again. But it's a fun little circuit. It certainly can be a little bit tough to overtake without being brave. The best move spot's going to be down into one, so getting a good run out of the last corner always going to be key.
Yep, absolutely. And then the only other real spots on the circuit are probably down at turn 5 and turn 6. So turn 5, the 90-degree right-hander before you head up to the 180-degree hairpin at turn 6. There's really not... and so the last turn is an option there, but it also tends to be a case of a number of drivers move over and block that line off pretty easily and go pretty much await to the task. So we'll see what happens in 3 weeks' time when the Development Series field tackles Hidden Valley. In between now and then, if you're watching this channel, you've got